Natalie here from Sette Design. Today we are going to restore and paint this vintage dresser. I'm very excited. I got it at a thrift store for $35. It's in great shape. It's probably 100 years old, maybe 80, probably the 1930s or 40s. And it's got dovetail construction on the side. So that's something you can look for when you're thrifting, to know that it's going to be good construction and last probably 100 years. And the drawers open so easily. I'm going to need to power sand the top because it's got water rings on it. So I've got some Benjamin Moore eggshell finish. I buy these little sample jars because it's like $7 for that as opposed to 22. And probably it'll be enough. I'm going to mix in some of this gray. So here's the color, Benjamin Moore Old Prairie. And I'm going to try and add a little gray and mix it to be sort of a stone color. That looks a little green. I think I'm going to try and go lighter than that. Very excited. Let's have some fun. Transform this dresser. Yay! Like and subscribe. Look, it's kind of exciting because here's all the colors it was. And we're getting back to my original color idea of sort of a stone off-white. It could have been a primer, and then it makes me start thinking about primers and when the concept of priming something was invented. Do you know that the Romans had heated floors and heated baths? So sometimes past cultures were very advanced. It's looking pretty, right? I just brushed it on went over lightly with the sander on the front and the sides because it didn't need it much. Okay, first I'm going to try mixing in a half a teaspoon of gray. I was laughing to myself about how I did these, you know, samples when other people do them perfectly. And you guys just have to deal with that because that's how I am. So I'm mixing it. Here is our dresser with one coat. I'm going to do another coat. This one's probably got two. I'm going to do another coat on here. I've sanded it lightly. I have these little spongy sander things, and I sanded it very lightly all over the top too. Just briefly like that. Make sure you paint the edge of the inner part of the drawer so that when it closes you don't see the wood like that. Okay, here I go with another coat of my stone colored paint. I did not prime it. I just went for 2 coats of this Benjamin Moore Old Prairie and a half a teaspoon of gray acrylic paint. So fun to do. It just always brings me calm when I got a paintbrush in my hand. Now, the fun part, which is I'm going to create a glaze. I've got my cappuccino, molto importante, and I am just going to add a little bit, as you can see, of my stone colored paint to the silver metallic. And then I'm going to do a dollop of water. This is a way to create a glaze. You can also mix polyurethane with paint and water, and it will make it glide over the surface and create a glaze. So here I go with a little brush, and I'm trying to leave the edge not faux painted so that it'll kind of glow on the edge there. The silver will glow. And I'm taking a dry cloth and just rubbing it in, kind of fogging it. Just making it sort of foggy and blended, and then it's less contrast. You can see right away that there's less of a contrast between the silver and the stone colored paint. And it's just so fun to do. I really recommend just enjoying yourself, take coffee breaks, put on some music. You know, this is the fun part. Then after I've done the glazing, I'm going to take a wet cloth. Okay, well, here I'm still with the dry cloth, but afterwards I'll go and just add a little wet cloth there on the edge so that it makes it glow on the edge there. It's coming out pretty. I'm happy. It's always easy and simple to imagine doing a faux finish on furniture, but it's also fun while you're painting to kind of think out of the box. And how else would you do this technique? I could see it on like a foyer wall. It would be fun to do just a big, huge table this way if you had some old boards. I'd love to do a modern finish on kind of rustic surface. I don't know. Gets the creative juices going. How would you use it? If you're interested in more extensive painting course, I've got an online course. It's about 35 videos, pretty intensive, very mind expanding. Check the description box below for the information. Come join in.